Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Heather. I am 23 and this year I decided to start a YouTube journey. This is kind of an odd video to start out with if you are new here. However, if you are not new here, you would know that I took kind of a spontaneous hiatus, so to speak, from YouTube and from my Disney Instagram. So if you're new here, just to give a little bit of information. So I started a Disney Instagram account primarily, well, it has started to kind of fade away from Disney a little bit, but that's what it was originally for, was for me to share all of my fun times at Disney, for me to share my girlfriend and I's fun trips to Disney and just kind of vlog my everyday life and have an Instagram account that I could allot for what I decided to put on public social media. And then on the other hand, I have two other Instagram accounts. One is my own personal account that I only allow my close friends and family to follow, and then I have another account for my photography business that I run in its own sole account. So with that being said, I have had a lot going on. I took a little bit of a hiatus specifically from my Disney account, my influencer account, my content creation account, whatever you want to call it. And primarily because it wasn't something I was wanting to do. Like, I went through a period of time where I was like, you know, I don't really want to film. Like, I don't really want to sit in front of the camera. Like, it was just something that I didn't want to do all of a sudden. And I can't say that I don't know why I was not wanting to do that anymore, because within the last 4 months or so, I've had some kind of crazy situations happen to me. A family member died, I got into a car accident, just crazy life changes. My girlfriend and I moved into a 2-bedroom. If you've watched previous vlogs of mine, you would know that I talked about that quite a bit. And then I attempted to get back into vlogging again and then vlog portions of our move, but if I'm gonna be 100% honest, with the complications that I've had since that car accident, I was just so concerned about moving, nonetheless picking up the camera and vlogging. So this has definitely been put on the back burner. And as much as this is something that I want to continue to do on a regular basis, I think I've decided to give myself permission to really only post when I'm feeling like it. I feel like with anything, as soon as a hobby or a fun activity that you do to de-stress or whatever it is, as soon as it becomes like a job, it slowly becomes not so fun. Thankfully, some of my hobbies, such as like photography and things like that, as much as I do make very little income on that, it's still fun for me. Hopefully that continues to happen, but when it came to content creation and things like that, it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea for a little bit. Eventually I would like to go back to being able to post every week. Prior to my hiatus, I posted at least once a week, and then would post like random vlogs on Wednesdays if I had the opportunity to, and if I had content that I felt like I could film. So to be fair, I didn't really have much of an interest, if I'm gonna be honest. So on my Instagram, I asked you all if you all had any questions for me in regards to Disney, my hiatus, where have I been, that kind of thing. I got a couple of questions, so I'm gonna answer those for you. I'm gonna put some of them into different categories, one of them being like my personal life and life updates, and then another one that's just designated Disney questions that I got. And then the last one is just like what I want to do with this channel kind of questions. So let's get into it. Mind you, I have been going through a little bit of a root beer kick, to the point where I think I can probably, by tasting each of the different root beers, tell you which brand they are without even looking at them. The first little subject I'm going to talk about is life updates. Where have you been? So in that, you know, section, where have you been, like I said, I have just been really taking a step back from consuming content and creating content, primarily because it started to feel like I had to do it, not necessarily that I wanted to. So I did not want to force myself into doing something that I didn't entirely really want to do. Another question I had was, how has your mental health been? And I regularly see a therapist, and I am very, very grateful that I can afford one and that I have found one that I have been able to consistently have a therapeutic relationship with for the last 5 years. So that's been really nice. But one thing I feel like isn't really talked about on social media is the mental health of people in the mental health field. I currently work in a social worker type position. I'm a case manager, and with the community that I serve, severe mental illness can definitely be a little rough, especially when it comes to prioritizing yourself. There have been a lot of times where I have been sick, or I just needed a mental health day, but I didn't take it off because I had a client that had an appointment, or I had something going on at work that I needed to provide for a client. So it definitely takes a toll on me, and I've been trying to learn how to separate that and how to take care of me first. So I would say my mental health has been better. However, I definitely think that it does need to be improved a little bit. So I would, if I had to rate myself from a 1 to 10, I would say I'm like a 6.5, 7. In the Disney category, I got a bunch of questions there. First question was, are you still planning on going to Disney in December? And yes, we are still going to Disney in December. I won't necessarily tell you all the dates and times that we are going to be there, primarily because the internet is scary and I don't really know how many people I want knowing that we're there at the time that we are. However, we are going the week after my birthday, so that's super fun for like a long weekend. Nothing too crazy. Disney in December is incredibly expensive, so I didn't want to kind of have to pay for this long vacation. That, like, something that's really frustrating about having a birthday in December is, in living in West Virginia, or really anywhere where the snow can be pretty bad, is that you don't know if you'll actually make it to the airport. So I put travel protection on everything, and I just didn't feel comfortable booking a week-long trip, week-and-a-half trip to celebrate my birthday if we may or may not even be able to get to the airport. So that being said, I'm glad that it's a long weekend. Maybe another year we can figure something out that we can go somewhere else. However, I am really, really excited. The second question is, where are you staying? And we are staying on property. We are staying at Caribbean Beach Resort, which is seriously one of my favorite resorts of all time. I have always had positive experiences there. Maybe other people haven't, but I love the atmosphere. I love the vibes. I love how close it is to the Skyliner. Our last trip we stayed at the Riviera, so we'll be able to come and visit again. Last time we were at the Riviera, this past trip, we didn't get to get a Riviera pin, so hopefully they have them in stock by the time that we're there and we can go grab one. So that's really exciting. We're staying at Caribbean Beach Resort. And the third question that I got is a question that I've never been asked before, which I thought was kind of interesting. The question was, have you ever thought about doing the Disney College program? And if you didn't know, I graduated my undergrad program in May of 2024, and then I'm now pursuing my graduate degree in clinical mental health counseling for my master's. So with that being said, I technically do qualify to be able to do the Disney College program. However, I just don't think it's something that I would want to do. I like being a guest there a little too much to want to work there. I feel like that's the best way to word it. I feel like once something becomes your job, it's not as fun anymore. And for some people, that is the complete opposite. But at least for me, if something becomes a job or a responsibility or a requirement, so to speak, it's not as fun. So I would say probably not. I love being able to visit as a guest, and as much as I'm sure those discounted rates would be awesome, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to work there. So with all of that being said, some of the life update questions that I got were like, how was the move, that kind of thing. The move was pretty good. In my car accident, I hurt my back, so I've been dealing with some like back pain here and there. Some mornings and days it's like non-existent, I don't feel anything, and then there are some days where I get up and all I can feel is like stinging and burning and cramping, and I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it. So moving was definitely a process with lifting and moving and just getting really involved. So I think move was okay. We got everything done that we needed to get done, and thankfully we had a bunch of friends that came and helped, so that was a big help. We still have yet to, it has been a month since we've moved and we still have things that we need to unpack and do, but I just think we don't really have the energy to do it after we did all of that. My girlfriend's dad my girlfriend and I, we helped build a dining room table. Oh, let's give credit more to her dad because he did a lot more of the work than we did, but we helped build a dining room table that we should be putting into our apartment within the next like 2 or 3 weeks or so. Another thing that's really exciting coming up is that Goose is getting neutered this week. He turns 1 on Wednesday, no, he turns 1 on Thursday, and then on Friday he gets neutered. So this is his last week of manlyhood, I guess. And then on Thursday I have a content creation day with some local photographers. I'm really excited about. I've never done anything like this before. And then I'm picking up some goodies for my girlfriend's parents and their dog and Goose and my girlfriend. So I'm really excited. Hopefully I have the energy and the motivation to continue to vlog and to bring you all along on those things. But I just kind of wanted to make this video to tell you all, like, I haven't forgotten about you all, I promise. I think I just went through a little bit of a depressive stage that I just didn't want to pick up the camera and vlog. However, I will leave this video here. I've yapped a little too long. Currently watching Brianna Woodbine. Duh, like who wouldn't? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would subscribe and turn on that post notifications bell so you know the next time I am posting. I'll see you all next time. Bye!